Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo number 1452-626. This is a doorstop is what this is. Here's what one looks like outside of the packaging. This would be the taller of the two types of doorstops that are shaped like this and are called gooseneck doorstops. If you use your imagination, you can sure see why they're called gooseneck doorstops. And these are very typical, common. They've been around for several decades. They're used because they're reasonably attractive and they're quite heavy duty. And that's because, well, it's a lot of solid brass is what this is. But there's two mounting points down here. So many doorstops will have just one mounting point. Not really going to give you the ability of the installation resisting a lot of hitting of the door onto the stop. I wouldn't use a floor stop that has just one mounting point if it was any sort of reasonable commercial traffic through it. And this is a little bit taller than the shorter one. Why? Well, because you might have two instances, a taller than normal, than typical undercut, or when your door goes to open, you might have a typical 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch undercut, whatever it would be, when the door is closed. But when that door goes to open, that floor is pitched away a little bit, and you need something a little bit taller so the door can still make contact with it. That's where you're probably going to use this. Let's take some basic dimensional properties. I'll hold it upside down so we can get an idea of the overall height, about 2 5/8. To the center of the stopping area is about 2 1/4. So if your undercut was anywhere even up to about 1.5 inches, this is still going to work really well for you. Okay. Overall width of the base, about 2 1/4. At its widest point, it's about 1 5/16 inches. And this is cast brass in a satin chrome plated finish. Has this rubber bumper in here. It appears to be a couple of screws that hold that in, and as far as I know, this bumper is not available as a separate standalone product. This is going to include a good fastener package, and here's what I mean. You're going to get a hanger bolt. You can put that down to a wood floor. This bolt down here is half wood thread, half machine thread. That's going to go right inside of here. Then you're going to get a threaded rod and a lead anchor. Well, okay, so you can do a wood floor. You can then do a masonry floor with that lead anchor. That threaded rod will go right in here. Then you're going to have like an oval head sheet metal screw and a plastic anchor. And that will be for this one back here. Okay, that'll not only keep it from spinning at all, but is that extra mounting point as well. And that handles the dimensions. Let me tell you the weight of the item. I can tell you it weighs about 0.54 pound. I've got a box of 10 of them here, and they weigh just over 1/2 pound. At least they do with their fastener package. Okay, nice attractive type finish, satin chrome. This is going to be available in a variety of different finishes. Let's switch to the screen view now, and let's take a closer look at all the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are looking at. Let's first look at the other finishes that we have available here. Polished brass, 605 for polished brass, 612 for satin bronze, 613 for oil rub bronze, 619 for satin nickel, 620 for antique nickel, 622 for black, 626 for satin chrome. I'm surprised there's not a polished chrome here. I bet they could do that on a special order basis. Probably they bring these, well, I don't know. They might, this says made in China. I don't know if they're just bringing it in already finished or if they're doing any plating in-house. They might just be bringing it in and they don't bring in from overseas a polished chrome. Extended description information, dimensions, cast brass, a mention of the fasteners that we've shown, the finishes we discussed, and when you buy one, we'll ship you one. Let's click on the template link that's here. Gives you all the important dimensional properties that we have gone over. Then there is a link to the product catalog here, Let's do a find function on our keyboard for 1452, and that'll get us right to the page where you'll see this. You've got the tall 1452 and then the shorter 1450 at 2 1/8. Both gooseneck style door stops. That's what those are called. The 1453 is the same as the 52, except that it has a holder capability on it. Obviously not for use on fire rated doors. Let's take a look at some images that we have. There's the label on the box, the packaged item, the item removed, and then a variety, just different perspectives of the unit. Your fastener package, hanger bolt, threaded rod, lead anchor, plastic anchor, and oval head sheet metal screw. Okay, now this link at the product catalog, that's going to allow you to review all things door stops, holders, and bumper related. You might want to take a trip through this catalog. There is obviously a variety of door stopping pieces of equipment. The very typical convex and concave wrought style door stops that you see everywhere. The 1400 is a petite 1-inch model if you're looking for something a little bit less obtrusive, more, less conspicuous. Cast style, even a large one that if you have some damage in drywall, this might be able to cover it up. Adhesive, very cheap, very inexpensive, very easy to install. Modern style floor stop, you see those all the time. Those have been common for quite a while now. Dome style, short lip, the high lip, and then a hybrid with a short lip and a tall height. This will allow you to handle different undercuts. A riser that will end up looking like this if you need to traverse over carpet. These floor stops are short and tall, but they're nice because they're heavy duty with those two mounting points. Again, it has everything to do with how much clearance you're dealing with, which affects the overall height, is what I'm driving at, as shown here. Heavy duty floor and baseboard mounted stops or wall mounted stops, standard, and those with a hold open. Hold open like this cannot again be used for fire doors because fire doors must be, there are 3 hallmarks with fire doors. They must be free swinging, they must be self-latching, and they must be self-closing. And this type of hold open does not permit it to be self-closing. Heavy duty steel with a molded rubber stop over it, typical for heavy duty use, very inexpensive but very capable. Cast brass versions of heavy duty stops as well. You can even get that poured into concrete. Our goosenecks, your roller bumpers, 2 versions of the straight, they're just different projections, and then a curved. When do you use one or the other? Don't try to memorize it. For 30 years, I can't recall. I always refer to a document like this. But I do know the straight model is you have a door. You've got 2 doors, one of each hand, a left hand and a right hand. When you have 2 doors of the same swing, then you need a curved. These models, the 1462 and 63, those are meant to be installed in a large hole that's been drilled, and you've filled that hole with mortar mix. Kick-down door holders, cast iron, aluminum, and cast brass, different sizes. Replacement rubber bumpers. Surface-mounted plunger-style door holders. The 1458, that design has been around for decades. Then you've got this sort of automatic door holder that's here. The only difference between these 4 models is the height of the strike, which is directly related to how much clearance you need to get around, what clearance you're working with. The clearance is the dimension from the bottom of the door to the top of the floor, or to the sill condition. The term undercut is meant to refer to the dimension from the bottom of the door to the bottom of the frame. Those are 2 different topics. An automatic style. Push it on, push it off. Another automatic style that's here as well. Heavy-duty wall stops. Residential solid baseboard mount stops. Residential spring-style baseboard stops. Hinge pin door stops. These models that replace the hinge pin, those are pretty capable at stopping the door from going any further, as is all of these. And the 1502 is the most common design that you'll see. But these may not be the right choice for an application, because if you hyper extend the door, you'll damage the hinge, the casing, the door, the hardware. Silencers for steel frames, wood frames, and for cabinet doors, self-adhesive. Tiny little residential angle stops. An applied stop. An applied stop is used when you have concealed hardware like center hung pivots and an edge pole. And the concept is you don't want to see the hardware, but because you have center hung pivots, you need a means by which to stop the door. And an applied stop, a piece of hardware like this, will give you that functionality. You've got center hung pivots, and the door the hardware can technically swing in and out or double act. Well, that's not the way you've designed it, so you'll need a piece of applied stop. And there you go. Now, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page as seen here, and when you click on that, you'll be able to pull up not only all of the Danjo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, and that full product catalog broken down into these subsections. And if you know the name Danjo at all, you probably do for latch protectors and wraparound plates. But take note, they make push and pull hardware, and hinges, and pivots, and bolts and latches, and strike plates. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, so if you have any questions on this Danjo, their part number 1452, gooseneck style doorstop, please do indeed let us know. The name Danjo is synonymous with a whole mess of, as I just said, trim and auxiliary type hardware. Take a look or a trip through their catalog. You'll find the common culprits, the typical pieces of hardware that you're going to see that everyone has, but you'll find stuff that people don't really have, or don't have in the sort of diversity that Danjo does, and that would certainly be wraparound plates, latch protectors, and then strike plates. They make a comprehensive offering of extended lip strike plates that you might need at some point. Any questions on the 1452 or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.